Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is a follow-up on my Rolex timepiece that I purchased last year. It's been a full year since I've had it and started wearing it. Although I think I did a first impressions video, I thought it was still a good time to follow up and share some of my additional thoughts on this particular timepiece, especially as I've worn it over time. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this timepiece. All of your support really means a lot to me. This is the Rolex timepiece that I have in my collection. It is the only Rolex that I have. I have two watches essentially. One is a Cartier Ballon Bleu, and I've done a couple videos on that piece as well. And then this is my Rolex. I'll link all of the related videos up above and in the description box down below, so you can reference them for a lot more of like the close-up shots and the whole story, how I found one and how I added it to my collection. All of those juicy details will be in those other videos, but I will share a quick overview of the style that I have. So I have a 36mm Datejust Oyster bracelet. So it's a stainless steel model. It has the smooth bezel with a white face and Roman numerals on the dial. I have worn this a ton ever since. Like I said, since I only have two timepieces, it's not that difficult for me to wear it a lot. And I absolutely love it. I love, 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 love it. I love the size. I love the versatility. I love the style, the weightiness of it. I really, really love this style. If you just stopped watching the video now, I want to make sure you caught that part, okay? I love this style and I love this size. I think the biggest thing for me when I was purchasing this item was the size. I was getting a lot of mixed opinions on what size I should get, and that it was like a manly size because it's a bigger size. And the whole spectrum is somewhere, it's quite nicely in the middle, I would say, but a lot, like historically speaking, it was really meant or designed for men. Because they have larger wrists. The blanket statement I will make is anybody can wear whatever they want. Like, who cares? But I won't make a blanket statement that a 36mm is going to look great on you as well, because I do think it depends on the size of your wrist. So for me, I was able to try it on. I tried on a few different sizes before I realized that I did like a 36, that the 36 did not seem too big for me. And the entire time that I've worn it, I have never second guessed myself on the size ever. If anything, I love that it is a much larger size because my Cartier is a 29mm. So because that one is so small, I do like how more casual and like chunky this watch is, and that's really what I wear it for. In terms of wear on this piece, like I said, I've worn it almost daily. Actually, I've been home a lot in the past year. Like if I were going to an office every day and stuff like that, I probably would have worn it more. I would say I probably wear it about 3 to 4 times a week. So I consider that almost daily wear pretty much. And it shows some signs of love. I'm not going to lie. The place on the watch, for me at least, that gets the most amount of wear is on the clasp on the back here. There are actually a good number of scratches on the bottom here. And it's probably from me wearing it and then either like putting my hands down on the table or writing something or eating or whatever. Like I'm not that precious with myself when I'm wearing the timepiece. I'm also someone who talks a lot with their hands. So it's probably a combination of all of that that's resulted in this natural wear on it. I don't remember like running into something or, you know, falling and that's where it scratched. Like I didn't have that kind of an incident. So this is all just from like what I would consider normal wear. On the links, show some kind of scratches on them. If I look at the bezel and the face, there's like Very, very minimal scratching there. So overall, I think it looks really great for the amount of wear that it has gotten. The only place that I'm a little sad about, honestly, is the bottom clasp here, because there's a pretty big scratch down there. I feel like I can see those scratches really well though, because I have the Oyster strap that has the polished middle. Rolex used to make Oyster straps that were brushed stainless steel throughout, which I feel like would have meant the scratches are less obvious. My brother has a very similar model, but he has the brushed Oyster bracelet, and I did notice that it sort of shines less, if that makes sense. If you consider that a negative trait, then you would say it's dull. But it didn't accentuate any of the scratches that it might have had. And then when I compared mine next to his, that's where I could see, while the middle links being polished gives it that extra shine, it does mean you can see your scratches a little bit more. So that's something to consider if you're going to be really particular about not wanting scratches on your watch. Then you may want to look for a model that has the brushed Oyster bracelet instead. Like I said, they are discontinued, so you might have to look on the secondhand market, but they do exist. So that's just something to look out for. The scratches for me, they don't bother me necessarily because I expect that based on the amount of wear that I have with this piece. I don't feel like it's an extraordinary amount of wear, so I'm not necessarily disappointed by like the scratches that I see on the piece. Now, the one thing I don't really care for on this style is the date. Now, I know that's the whole point of a Datejust, okay? So don't come at me. It's a little annoying, the date. Oh, okay, wait. I think I have to clarify. It's not the fact that it has a date feature. I think the fact that it's an automatic movement plus a date feature, it's the combination that I am finding a little annoying, because if I were actually wearing my watch every single day, like I pretty much would have if I were commuting and stuff like that, then I feel like I'd notice this problem a lot less. But because there are a few days in between where I won't wear the watch, it's just an extra step to have to reset it. So not only do you have to jumpstart it by giving it a few turns, you're gonna have to set the date and the time. I thought it was something that I would just get used to. This is the first automatic movement that I have in my collection, so I just thought it was something that it was newer, it's something that I'll get the hang of, and like time's passing and I'm just like, meh. If you're really not going to be wearing it every single day, that instead of a Datejust, just the Oyster Perpetual might be a better option, because then, yeah, you would still have to wind it and you'd still have to adjust the time, but you wouldn't have to adjust the date with the time. It's just, it feels like it's not a big deal, but like when you're getting ready in the morning and you're about to run out, like it's just extra stuff. A lot of times I've actually just put the watch on because I'm busy, like I'm trying to get to where I need to go, and then later in the day I like, what time is it? Oh, and then it's just off. So it cannot perform its true function, you know what I mean? When I really need to tell the time, it will not tell me the right time. So that's just something to be mindful of. That's just, I wanted to share. I am aware that they sell watch winders, that you put your watch, it's like a case for your watch, and it'll wind it so it won't ever really lose the power reserve. I can't be bothered, to be honest. I don't want to have to buy more things for the things that I have, if that makes sense. And I don't know, it feels like it's like extra energy just going to waste. So that's why I haven't been interested in getting a watch winder. Up until now, I was so used to quartz movements that just keep going, right? So you don't ever have to set the time, you don't ever have to change anything until the battery is actually dead, which is why at the time that I was getting the Datejust, I was like, no, I like having the date on there. It will help keep me all on track and organized. You know, I was like, oh, like, you know, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm used to that. But I didn't account for the fact that this would be an automatic movement. So I know automatic movements are really the main, like, zhuzh of a watch, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that people are really like going for. That's where all the technology exists, and and all of that stuff. And I feel like quartz watches get like, you know what I mean? But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you are really going to only occasionally wear your watch, I don't think there's anything wrong with a quartz movement. So don't discount those, don't disregard those. I feel like there are beautiful timepieces that are still a quartz movement and not have to deal with the fact that you have to reset the time, reset a date, reset the day, reset anything if you stop wearing it for a few days. The other thing I want to highlight is how comfortable the strap is as well. I lost some weight since I got the watch, and so I noticed that the strap was actually pretty loose, but it never would get to the point where it would turn on my actual wrist. I guess if I lost like a crazy amount of weight, maybe that's possible, but I feel like the way the straps are designed, it's really designed to fit comfortably, to sort of like mold around your wrist. And the model that I got has the, I forgot what they call it. Oh, micro adjustments in the clasp and the back here. So I've been able to adjust that slightly so that I am able to get a tighter fit. So I feel like that's everything I wanted to cover as a follow-up for my watch. The bottom line, like, do I recommend? I absolutely recommend, but I do know it's a crazy world out there, and they are very difficult to find. So I think the challenging part right now is really being able to find one, and I think because it's so hard for you to go into the boutique and try out a lot of different styles, it can also be challenging to really figure out what style you really want. I also want to just put it out there that you don't have to settle for the one that you find. A lot of times, because it's so difficult to find a piece, it might just be really exciting to get the one that you are able to get your hands on, but I would really recommend you hold out for the one that you actually want. Because the joy, the excitement you get from that piece is going to be like exponentially higher than, you know, getting the next best thing. I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, if there are any other questions that you have that I didn't address, please leave them in the comments down below and I will answer your question to the best of my ability. But like always, you can also head on over to my Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. And don't forget that I have a giveaway currently open on my channel. So if you are interested, I will link that video up above or check out the description box for more information. And feel free to enter if you haven't already. So until next time, bye!